What's up, people? See if you can hear me. Oh man, prices are down. Prices are down, and we continue to suffer in silence. You know, we are the silent minority right now. No one cares about crypto. Everyone's talking about the SpaceX IPO. Understandable. Understandable. It's like the biggest IPO in history, you know. So, like, obviously, people are going to be thinking that it's going to be doing some greatness. Sorry, I'm just watching the mouth animations in the bottom left. I just want to make sure. It took me ages to sort it out. You guys have no idea what it takes to actually get this thing working. And it's not even like, you know, it's all from what's it called? Like Claude, the new Claude Fable. Like I've been trying to do something like this for the longest time. Even just like the mouth animation and the talking. It just yeah, it's just like, you know, Opus 4.8 couldn't do it. But then Fable's come out and it's just like, right, Fable, I've got this project I'm trying to do. And boom, there it is, you know. So yeah, it's going to take a few more iterations to get it perfect. But right now, it's the best I could do. And I thought, I can't put off streaming for another day. So yeah. Anyway, what did I want to talk about today? The market is dead quiet. Yeah, obviously, because it's selling off. Hyperliquid faded. That was like my bag. I was like, my baby, Hyperliquid. You know, I had high hopes. I still got options held, but it's just, yeah, major failure, man. Might as well just write those off. I think it's like 0 in it, so we're not moving forward with that. So yeah, I'm thinking though, like this is the time, you know, like during the summer, you're going to see prices like slowly start to go down. Slowly start to go down, or even quickly go down. And yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like, yeah, there's still a way to go. I'm no like TA expert. This is not financial advice, but yeah, you might want to start like DCAing into the projects you feel like have like a good sort of setup, or like, you know, they've got potential. Like Hyperliquid is one, but like, is $53 expensive? I don't know, but like, you know, in a year when it's at 510 per coin, no one's gonna care if you bought at 40, if you bought at $50. You know, it's one of them ones. I don't see it like, you know, forever selling off. I think the main catalyst for the sell-off is, yeah, competition. A lot of projects have come out, or like, you know, centralized exchanges like Robinhood and Binance, you know, which is their biggest compare and rival, have come out and started doing stocks and shares and IPOs as well, 24-hour markets or whatever. So yeah, you know, the competition came out and they're just like, right, we're going to take back market share because you've had it for too long, and price is reflecting that in terms of the token. But you know, volume is still up. Yeah, that's all I can really say. Volume is still up. A few projects I've been working on myself. One I've been talking about for a while, which is a Squirrel Terminal. You know, just like options trading platform. It's going to take a few iterations as well. It's not going to be like perfect, but it's looking good. It didn't help me with my options decisions, but you know, I wasn't relying on the terminal like for much data because it's brand new. But yeah, and I'm also working on something else called Tessera, but like that's more like a TradFi, more real world sort of like application. I've sent out a few emails poking around, looking for partnerships on it. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the industry that needs to be disrupted is something that's nascent and you know, hasn't been disrupted in a long time. Maybe it's because of regulations and like, you know, laws and stuff like that. It's really difficult to get into, but like it's ripe for change. So I'm trying to build out like apps that would make differences to like real world businesses, because crypto, I don't know, man. Crypto, like with obviously this Fable and like Mythos and all these rumors about how great it is, it could be a situation where you end up, you know, building something and it gets hacked instantly, or someone could just like, you know, fork the code from GitHub and just be like, right, I can do it better. and they have like a team behind them. If you're just like an individual who hasn't got any coding experience, it's very hard to be competitive in that sort of landscape. Well, I guess that goes for every sort of industry, I guess. But it's still good to like, you know, even try and just like sort of do something different. But yeah, I'm just like, yeah, mucking around. But what's interesting is what I'm learning as well is like, just because, you know, you say you've got an idea and you start building it out, you get to a certain point with these AIs where it just doesn't know what to do. You don't know what to do because you're not like perhaps in that industry. So your idea like stalls and you're just like, okay, what do? You just give up? No, you don't. You put it on the back burner and you come up with another idea and you start building that, and then you get to a certain point and you stop. And like, right, I don't have, you know, the people around me to perhaps, you know, help out or whatever, so I'll just leave it. And then, you know, Anthropic will come out, or Claude, the new version of Claude will come out that's way better, 10 times better or whatever, and you go back to through your like treasure trove of like broken ideas, and you'd be like, right, can you actually do this bit that we got stuck on? And like, it's gotten to that point now with Fable where, yeah, in fact, yeah, I can actually do that for you, and guess what, it's going to take me, you know, 20 minutes or something. So like, even in terms of like, you know, the character I've got sitting down in the bottom here, when you watched, if you caught the intro was basically made by Claude or Opus 4.8, and that's the best it could do, you know, in terms of the character. If you watch my previous video, I had the character in the bottom left, and it was just like, that's the best it could do. So Fable's come out, and I'm like, right, Fable, can you actually give me what I want? And it did. There's still like, in terms of mouth animations, it's kind of frustrating to be honest, because I'm watching it, I'm just like, ugh. In terms of mouth animations, it's quite tough, but at the same time, it's gotten really close to where I want it to be, and at some point in the near future, it's going to be perfect. So yeah, I spent pretty much the whole day today just like trying to iterate on it. Yeah, so yeah, quite proud of that. Right, so yeah, the next thing we want to look at, I guess, is price action and coins that perhaps people want to buy or pick up. There's not much, to be fair. I even like Pump Fund, the token itself. I'm streaming on Pump Fund right now. I'm live. It's just, yeah, I don't think it's a coin that's loved much by retail, by, you know, the people who actually drop the token, by anyone. At some point, you know, they will, I mean, unless they do an OpenSea and MetaMask, they will drop an airdrop to people. I don't know what the criteria is, but if the token's worth like, you know, nothing, then, you know, it's just sort of like yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what they're thinking, honestly. Like, imagine airdropping people Pump Fund tokens at this price, at this valuation. They're still looking for product market fit. They just came out with something called like Pump Fund Go, and it's basically their market. Let me see if I can bring it out for you. I'll see if I can duplicate this, and I'll just drag it over. There you go. Let's go here. I don't want to mess up my stream, you know, by having too many things open. There we go. So like, yeah, it's kind of like their market where people pay you to do things. Yeah, exactly. So like, if it loads, there we go, trending. Right, so they basically put out bounties for people to do, like, you know, things in the real world, and if you fulfill those, you know, live on camera, then they'll pay you money. So like, for instance, there's one here, eat 3 live worms on camera, and it's $158, and somebody's just submitted it, and it's just like, I don't know if that's AI, if that's true, but yeah, you know, it's getting grim. I don't know if anyone's seen that episode of Dark Mirror, but like, yeah, this is pretty Black Mirror, but if you have seen that, then you sort of know where this is going. Cover yourself in Nutella, right? Rake beer or body, $68, not worth it. I think the biggest one was the tattoo. So like, the last story that broke, that went kind of mainstream, kind of viral, was somebody put a I can't even talk. Somebody put a go out or a dare, and it was basically like, get a tattoo of bounty put on your forehead, and they'll pay you like $2,500. Okay, so some guy in India, he filmed himself getting a tattoo on his forehead, basically saying booty, so it's like BOUTY, and you know, he took the evidence and he sent it through to Pump Go, and he didn't get paid. And everyone's like, well, you spelled it wrong. And he's like, no, if you actually look at it, it's spelled incorrectly on the site. And when you do deep it, like the actual go or dare, it was spelled incorrectly. So he spelled it right on his forehead. The person who actually made up the actual, bounty, said that it was a typo, and it should have said bounty. And he was like, well, that's not my fault. So like, you should pay me. Let me see if I can find it. I think it's Bouty, something like that. No, that sounds dodgy, doesn't it? Pump and go. Let's try that. Pump and go. Pump and go. Put space there, maybe. Would that help? It's probably like the #1 trending thing on here. Here it is. Yeah. So no. So that's a different one. Try to find the other fella first. Is that me? Oh no, weird. Yeah, that's terrible. That. This guy, right? So yeah, some crazy bounties has happened on Pump and Go in the last few days. This guy made 2.5K by adding bounty work tattoo to his forehead. The second guy also made 13K by adding bounty fund to his forehead. There's more on the platform to proceed that. So yeah, basically they were offered this money. So this is the guy, and yeah, as you can see, he spelled it as BU, and he actually did get this tattoo on his forehead. So for the rest of his life, he's going to have this written on his forehead, and he did it for $2,500. He's based in India. Now, my theory is like, this is not actually the guy who received the funds. I reckon, I don't know if there's like I don't know what the issue is out in India. If there's like a drug problem or like, a homeless problem or something like that. But I've got a feeling someone's not forced him, but like said, listen, I'll give you $200 to put this on your forehead. And the guy's like, for $200, in India, it might be a lot. I don't know. And yeah, so he's done it, and he's collected his $200. And the person who's actually received the majority of the money, he's non-existent. So he's just collected the funds and he's disappeared. But the interesting part was that, he didn't actually get paid originally. So the first guy made 25K, not 2.5. That was an error on my part. So what happened is that the community saw that he wasn't going to get paid. So what they did was, the Pump Fund community, quotation marks, they created a token called Booty Work, and people traded it, and they gave the fees to him. So he ended up making 25K, not 2.5K, which is good. And then yeah, Bounty Fund was with the correct spelling. This guy done it, and so like yeah, people in the I don't want to say the third world. Maybe they're doing okay, but people are out there actually willing to do these things. And there's some doozies that, like, eating 3 worms for $158. Like, people, the thing is like, I think you can actually even trade these coins. So if you trade them, the fees go to the actual fund. Can you submit work, create bounty? I guess not. I guess you just put in how much you want to give people. 2.5 soul. It's just not worth it, mate. Let's eat 3 worms. Live in your stomach, man. Next thing you know. Bounty posted on TikTok. No, I'm scared. Central Park. Yo, bro, congrats. Get me a software developer job. Okay. So people are putting like, find me a job. Bounty posted on TikTok. Drink 10 raw eggs and meme coin. Okay. 0.5K, so you get 190 for drinking. That's not that bad. I could do that. Penis coin. Find proof that this is the Pump Devs penis. Okay, wow. Yeah, get a tramp stamp tattoo saying stupid. Yeah, people are doing it. So recommend 110. So people are actually getting these things tattooed on themselves for money. So the total reward pool. So for $1,000 or $1,000, you could get stupid tattooed on your And there's people posting videos and stuff like that. So yeah, the dare market or the Pump Go market is alive and well. But yeah, like I said, this Elon and the Pump Fund team, they're looking for product market fit. Now we'll go ahead and say that this is not the first time that you would see, or you would have seen this type of market. Dare market were the first to do it. it didn't gain much traction. I'm not even sure what network it's on. It might even be on Solana, their market. I'm pretty sure it is on Solana. Let's see if I can bring it up. But yeah, it could get dark, you know, like there could be some stuff going on there that perhaps people don't want to see. You know, get posted on TikTok. What is this one? Submission. What is that? Find a famous person or something. It doesn't say exactly what it is it? What does it? Get Razma to play a 1v1 battle on Gym Showdown. Okay. So that's one. Makes Zazu Cat impossible to ignore. Pay for a family's dinner and tip the server. That's crazy. Can you imagine, like, you're sitting at dinner with your wife and your kids and some random pays for your dinner and tips the server, like you as the husband or as the, you know, provider? How offensive is that? You know, that could be like, you know, that could be dangerous. I'd be like so offended if someone paid for my meal for me and my family. I'd be like, what is your problem? You know? But then you'd have to film it as well as evidence. So even then, you know, you've got a phone in your face like constantly. Cover yourself in chocolate. Buy a pizza for a homeless person. That's easy enough. $10 get your pizza, 5 sol. Has anyone submitted? I ordered the pizza through online delivery. I've done it and have a ticker. I have the ticker chance on it. Okay. Let's have a look. It's a slice, man. He ain't homeless. Get out of here, man. The guy is not homeless. So, like, yeah, there's plenty of bluffs out there. But, yeah, let's see what their market's got. Like, as in their markets. Let's get through interviews. Yeah, invisible rope challenge. Over a few seconds. Crash out. Oh, my God. Oh, they've actually, like, updated their UI. Yeah, so... Yeah. Log in. Which network is it on? I think it's Solana. Discord, Twitter, Discord, YouTube. So you can't actually sign in with a wallet. That's weird. Okay, give me the usual challenge to get a scratch tattoo. Origin Day Market, Milk Gallon Challenge. Oh my God, Rock! Imagine, what is this? What made you? So what is the challenge? You know, it's not really clear. What is the challenge here? Winner. What is this? I know you guys can't hear it. Okay, yeah. So, $2,000, not bad. Have an ice day. Fast spray in the elevator. Oh, God. Chugging 1 liter of milk and running 1 mile challenge. Oh my God. Jeffrey Epstein portrait tattoo. Are you serious? Origin Dare Market. What's this one drink? Let's see. I need to put this on the... One sec.
All the comments are like, oh, this.
You will each fill up the cup with milk and drink the cup until it's empty. You must resist the urge to puke. Players, please get a trash can in preparation of losing. Begin to fill your cups and then drink.
All the comments are like, oh, this is easy, bro.
Players, are you ready for the next round? Begin to fill your cups and then drink.
I'm already gonna yak. I think I got like half of one left in me, bro.
Remember, if you puke, you lose.
I don't think this guy's drinking milk. This guy, yeah.
Ryan, stop talking shit, bro. Bro, what the fuck?
Dunce, catch your breath. Lock in, motherfucker.
I tap. I can't. I'm literally gonna throw up. I can't even get halfway through this.
Oh, he's gone. That's it.
I'm fucking throwing up.
$6,300 to drink milk, man. That's insane. That is insane. That is insane. That is insane. That is crazy. Right, let me mute that because it might repeat. Okay. Milkers, professional milker, 6,500 USD to drink milk. I wouldn't have been able to do it, to be fair. But yeah, so like, yeah, these are the type of markets that are starting to emerge. I'm not sure if they're actually going to catch traction or gain any traction. Scream Dare Market at Drewski NYC meetup. That's easy enough. Feed. I mean, yeah, it's a nice little website compared to like what Pump Fun's got on offer. This looks very basic, you know, compared to what Dare Market are doing. Yeah. Exposing mayoral election fraud in Los Angeles. That guy looks familiar. Okay. But yeah. So there's that. So yeah, they're looking for product market fit, but they've got competition. They're coming in second as well. So we'll see what happens and how it evolves. But you know, historically, Pump Fun has been known to go too far in terms of their content. Moderation is very limited. So yeah, back to the markets. So yeah, the coin, even in saying that, you know, the coin has very little to do with the actual Dare markets or anything to do with like the streaming content or meme coins. It's just a token that's out there. It's not even a governance token. It's quite pathetic, to be honest. You can see the market's kind of turning around, but like every day when the market opens like this, you know, the 1 o'clock finish or start of the new day, it starts green and then it just turns to shit. So yeah. But my point is that, you know, these are the times where when you see prices so low, the prices are so low that they end up being just like too irresistible. But you're gonna have to choose your champions wisely. You know, like ETH has been in a bear market for the longest time, and I'm convinced that it's going to 1,100, maybe lower, over the course of the next 3-4 months. Virtuals, which, you know, I'm still staking. Sadly, I can't get out until next year. It's due to hit. You know, it's got to fill this wick at 26 cents. So there's that. ENA had a little pop and then it's just down only again. So like, you know, the token is worthless basically in terms of like, you know, its use cases and stuff like that. Oh wait, let me go back to that.
Ha ha ha, what a sucker.
Oh. Sorry guys, just give me a second. That's not what it's supposed to be. Go back to that. Okay, so that's all wrong. Let me just do that.
Ha ha ha, what a sucker.
Stop. There you go. Apologies for that. I don't know why it automatically does that. I still ain't got the hang of this. I've been streaming for so long and I'm still like faffing around. Yeah, so like ENA completely dead. You know, like like upon reflection, like looking at every single token out there, it's just like, yeah, there's no hope. Will the IPO tomorrow for SpaceX be the top for the stock market? I don't know, but apparently it's launching at like 1.5 trillion. Laws have been changed, so like, you know, the average retail investor with $2,000 can get involved and buy shares in SpaceX. So it's going to be an interesting day tomorrow. It could be the top of the stock market, and maybe all that money that's been made in it running up the way it has. Maybe that's it. But like, you know, there are signs that, yeah, perhaps we're looking at a little retrace. But you know, people have said that before. And you know, it's just up only, literally. Like, it's actually insane how crazy. But you know, when you've got like perpetual buyers, like people who are basically, you know, when you're working, where I am anyway, part of your salary automatically goes into you know, these markets, you know, it's always going to have a perpetual buyer. So that means it's always going to go up. At some point, it needs to come down because whatever goes up must come down. But this run up here, like over the past, year? I mean, even from, this is from like 2009, you know, like after the crash. If you bought that crash after 2008, I'm guessing, yeah. You just made money all the way up. It didn't even matter. Like this, I think that was COVID. Yeah, that was COVID. This might have been COVID actually. I can't remember. 2022. Even that COVID crash, you know, that's the COVID crash. Yeah, 2020. Even that was just like, I can't beat COVID 6 years ago. Even that was just like nothing if you bought in early enough, you know, after the whole, you know, Michael Bloomberg, not Michael Bloomberg, the guy who shorted the market, can't remember his name now, the big short guy, made all that money. Yeah, even after that, still insane. But yeah, it looks like maybe it needs to cool off a bit. But this is, you know, you've got Trump, for instance, you know, saying that he's going to stop bombing Iran now. Apparently he went all out today because he's demanding that the Iranians sign the deal and get the oil flowing again. Yeah, so negotiations between the US and Iran have completely collapsed. Okay, maybe not. That was an hour ago. And I think Trump's just lost patience now. And he's just like, right, I'm just going to bomb the shit out of them until they give in. And that's what's happening at the moment. And maybe it will be reflected in the market. But it seems like even with wars breaking out left, right, and center in Europe, in the Middle East, people, you know, are going to work creating GDP for the US, the UK, wherever, and they're paying it into the stock market, so the price will always go up. So yeah, you're perpetuating the cycle, bro. Tony's Bitmain buys 41 million worth of ETH, and that was an hour ago. Did it make a difference to the price? No, it didn't. I'm starting to think these articles are fake. I don't believe this Tommy is actually buying. I think it's just, is it OTC? Like, I don't think it's on the open market. It can't be. Yeah. So yeah, you know, I've done some reflection as well on my streams and stuff like that, and I was just like, I'm finding when I listen back, I'm talking really fast, so I'm trying so much effort for me to consciously not go rapid fire and just like constantly talk. Trying to make it more of a laid back environment. It doesn't have to be as intense, you know. Obviously if things get exciting, then maybe it will get a bit intense. SPX, you know, Murad's been shilling this for the longest time. He's saying there are no sellers. Apparently the people that hold this token, it's a meme token, don't look at the chart. I mean, someone's certainly selling off here. Is what it is. 30 cents seems to be the bottom there. 23 cents possibly. You guys are aware of the Zcash news. It fully recovered and retraced. Now this pump up here, I feel like these are buys of last resort. And you know, they've brought the token back up to here, and now they're waiting for retail to get back in. If the price pumps again, I foresee a major sell-off to the bottom, to the lows. So someone's looking for exit liquidity here, and to do that they've got to put their money up front to get it back to a reasonable price where people think it's safe. And you know, if retail do return and believe the narrative, which I don't think there are many retail participants in the market that are stupid enough to believe that, you know, Zcash is going to, like, you know, double in terms of its value. I think whoever's here now is too smart to fall for it. You know, I'll tell you something interesting that happened today as well. Someone liked to know, like, has this ever happened to any of you, right? So say like you're just chilling, and then you get a notification that someone liked one of your posts, and then you see a post and you're like, what the hell does that even say? You know? And I'm like, I didn't write that. When did I write that? Someone liked a post of mine today from 2018. 2018. That means that, you know, 8 years ago I was in this market. 8 years ago. You know, and I was calling out this guy, this Lord Chadwick. And, you know, he's basically tried to shill some token. And Vitalik's like, you know, why not use Zcash? It was like they wanted to do an airdrop for people. No ICO or pre-mine, no founders fee. The coin is made by ZCL. So it's like some scam coin. We can have a look at it. And we can go back to that. ZCL. There it is. Zcoin, Z Classic. Z Classic is called. And it literally, when was that? It doesn't say the dates, does it? It was 2026. It went up to 24 cents. Okay, but like, yeah, it's basically down only. But yeah, this Lord Chadwick was basically shitting a coin, and he was saying, you know, if you buy this coin, then you're going to get like Bitcoin Private. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know, is a Bitcoin Private developed by the same people who made Zclassic, fork of Zcash, and now the same developers are working Zclassic to make, are forking Zclassic to make Bitcoin Private. And I'm like, I'm just trying to make sense of all the madness. And so you can see, like, from 2018, okay, February 2018, the same playbook, in a sense, is running time and time again. Now it's like, you know, I guess it's gone more corporate, because, you know, the way the corporates do it is like they get tokens pre TGE, so they get their allocations in, you know, paperwork for funding, and they get it at a very discounted rate. And then when TGE comes, you know, the airdrop and everything else, and like the ICO where they raise the valuation pretty much 10x's, maybe 20x's from when they originally invested in this company and got their allocation on paper. So when TGE comes, they get first refusal, so they get their tokens first. Then the airdrop happens, and then the token gets, like, you know, dumped on you. So that's the new scam. But this was the old scam, where, like, you know, people be like, yeah, we're just gonna fork the code and give you 1-to-1 whatever token you're holding. It says Rit was almost a solo dev for Zcash, whatever. And it says, so why would anyone buy Zclassic if there's no developers planned? And he said, to receive Bitcoin Private at a ratio of 1-to-1, fork is on the 28th. So I said, let me get this straight. I'll buy a coin, Zclassic, that has zero use case in order to receive a coin that has potential. And I just said, good luck with your project, and just walked away from it. But, like, you know, you can see from back in the day, like 8 years ago, people were doing scams. Now, when you click on this guy's profile, you'll see that his scams did work. He's followed by GameZ. And, you know, he's the unofficial mayor of Boca Raton, creator of the biggest boat party in the US, the Boco Bash. So, like, you know, he's still going strong up to now. And, you know, I guess he's got a big rep. But yeah, where's he from? United States. Yeah, so, you know, there are a lot of people here who are lingering around from those days who I'm familiar with, who made a lot of money via scams. Now, because there's no sort of like paperwork or trail for these things, when they pop up on the timeline, people aren't aware of who these people are and what they've done in the past. So yeah, you got to be pretty vigilant when it comes to, you know, people suggesting coins to you or anything like that. Yeah, so I'll just, yeah, that's one of the things I'll keep an eye on. So yeah, like I was saying, don't be dumb enough to buy Zcash. Maybe it runs to 5,000, or, like, you know, it's the equivalent to buying Bitcoin at 400, but I just don't think it is, especially with the infinite mint problem that it had. Yeah, I just don't think it's the one to be, like, fucking around with, to be honest. Anthropic has quickly gone from the goated frontier lab to fumbling the bag so hard, and right before the IPO too. I don't know, like, you know, there's a lot of contradictions, or, like, not contradictions, conflicting information when it comes to Claude, like, and Anthropic. I think a lot of people had grand schemes and plans for when Mythos comes out, or if it ever comes out, but because they've given us, like, a guardrailed version where you can't ask about smart contract security, and you can't ask about bioengineering and certain topics, it just blanketly just be like, no. Yeah, it's one of those things where I guess people were looking to, you know, go to the next level, and because they're beyond what I'm doing, which is, you know, trying to figure out how to do sprites and animations, and, you know, basic smart contract stuff, these guys are looking to do, like, real, you know, graft, and they're paying probably, like, you know, for 4 different subscriptions, maybe more, so they have enough power to do the things that they want to do with this AI, and they're not able to do it because Claude, like, I think the people at Claude or Anthropic are fully aware of, like, the type of characters that are just like, oh my god, I can't wait to hack that smart contract. Something happened today with Radium, where someone figured out that some of the old pools had money just sitting in them, and they figured out a way to convince the smart contract, or to say that the money needed to be moved, and they basically stole like 1.35 million, transferred it bridged it over to ETH, put it in Tornado Cash, and they're off you go. Off they went with the 1.35. So yeah, like, you know, those things are happening. Did they figure it out on their own, or is it the power of this, like, you know, this new Claude Fable? I don't know, because some people are actually saying, you know, the smart people like me, like Tony, for instance, who's, you know, one of their lead devs at Solana, or the king of Solana, basically. What is he? Is he like a co-founder of Solana Labs? Even he's saying he's figured out a way to basically bypass the guardrail, so he can do smart contract work using Claude. So yeah, you know, there are ways and means, I guess. Maybe DM him and he'll give you the inside scoop. I doubt it. Niggas waited for hype to pull a 200% move before getting bullish at 65 instead of 25. Now wondering why the market is so bad. Just bad at the game, player. Yes, I'm getting a lot of bullish hype posts because obviously, you know, I was bull posting hype as well. There's no need to be upset. Honest men rolling out of bed to cry about cryptocurrency on the internet. So yeah. But yeah, the market is in dire straits. I don't care if you're showing green right now. I know tomorrow morning when I wake up, it's going to be lower. Well, who knows? Maybe it just turns around and there's like a mega pump. You know, you get one of those special candles. The likelihood, I don't know. Stuff like Uniswap, you know, this thing hasn't even got emissions. Well, it does actually have emissions. They do have some sort of like, you know, they get 20 million coins or some crap. That's just gonna, like, basically a lot of these companies, they are companies, and yeah, they are companies, foundations, whatever you want to call them. They're all just basically, they don't care about the token. They care about the dollar. Okay, they care about the Ferraris. They care about putting their kids in private school. So, you know, it's a tough one, man. It's a tough one to actually think, where can I put my money? And this is why retail probably, you know, the smarter retail participants, which is us at the moment, whoever's listening to this, which is why we're hesitant to get back in. Sitting on cash is fine, and the lower the prices go, the more you start to salivate and think, oh god, man, like, I've always wanted to own, you know, 1 million ENA or something stupid, like, you know, some Asta, or just like these random coins that you're not quite sure will pump in the future. They will, but will it go lower? And like, what is your time horizon? There's going to be a lot of people coming out on the timeline now talking about, oh yeah, you know, in 4 years it's going to be great, like, or next year, this time next year it's going to be a bull market and you guys are going to regret not paying attention. No, yeah, of course, yeah, we'll regret it. You know, it's just, it's gone beyond, I feel like the market's matured to a point where it's gone beyond the baseless, like, you know, oh, you guys are going to regret not paying attention for the whole bear market. Like, you know, there's nothing literally going on. I mean, the last thing that came out was Mega ETH, you know, that was the big speculative speculation that, you know, Mega ETH's going to do this, that, the other, right? And where are we now? We're below ICO price, you know, and you've got the foundation. I know this is the foundation of Mega ETH buying back their token quietly, you know, small buys. You can see it's all the same. See, quietly, small amounts, just picking out while everyone else dumps. So speaking of Mega ETH, they actually announced that the time for their terminal returns or whatever is closed. It closed today. So they're going to be dropping rewards to people next week at some point. People are asking how much they're going to get, what is it going to be, blah blah blah. I'm not even speculating. I'm expecting $35 max. I'm not expecting like a Hyperliquid-esque drop. It would be clever for them to actually do that, given that, you know, their reputation is in the ground. But I've got a feeling they're going to compound things by just screwing everyone over again. But if they were to do, like, you know, a crazy airdrop to people, because I'm pretty sure the participation wasn't that high. But if they were to do like substantial amounts to people in USDM, then yeah, it might pick up a bit for Mega ETH. But I've just got a feeling they're just gonna fumble it again. I just don't know if they care, or it's a thing of like, yeah, our time horizon is decades. You know, like they're thinking, right, this is my baby, and I'm gonna ride it all the way to the, like, I retire. So there's no rush, or there's no need to, you know, push the boat out for current usage. But the problem with that is that, you know, you've seen that sort of play out before. So like, even in terms of Starknet, for instance. I keep going back to it, but Starknet, when they fumbled that airdrop, it destroyed the whole thing. They've still up to now been able to gain traction. Cardano, like, you know, they didn't do an airdrop, but well, I don't even know why I brought up Cardano, or I do, but like, you know, if you start off on a bad footing in this industry, if you don't satisfy current users, especially in a bear market, because the users that are, or the people that are currently on chain now, they're basically the hardcore. They're here for the reason to, you know, for being curious, to find the gems, to stick around. If you don't reward those type of people, then who are you going to reward apart from yourselves? And if you do that, you'll never get the users. You will never get them. So like, you want to get people talking about like going on to bridging onto Mega ETH, or doing anything on Mega ETH, or staking on Mega ETH, buying their token, and doing something with it. Then yeah, you need to make it needs to be a pretty special thing. But I just know in my heart of hearts that yeah, it's not going to be anything special. But I'll update you next week when I collect my 25 USDM or whatever. Yeah, they've got plenty of money. They've got plenty of capital to share around, and they made promises about the allocation before. So we'll see. We'll see. I didn't actually get that many points. Some people got tens of thousands of points, and I'm sure they'll do very well. But for me, it's kind of like, yeah, I just know. I wasn't on like gambling my money away for the sake of points. I was using the apps before the terminal because I was curious, but they don't seem to recognize those type of people, those type of users. It's okay. It's fine. Yeah, the reason why I brought up Cardano as well, like Charles Hoskinson, whatever. Let's see what's going on in the old Cardano markets, because it's still valued at $8 billion. Yeah, it's still valued at $8 billion. But Charles Hoskins has decided that he's going to take a break. When is this, June 8th? Why Cardano's that only ecosystem that can run the world? Yeah, Cardano founder says ADA is dead and failed project. We're in the toilets. Yeah, it's dead and a failed project. When you look at it from the price appreciation, we're in the toilet. Yeah, we're in 80 cents. It's dead and failed project. Yeah, he's right. But I'm sure, like, you know, he goes on to say, but we've got developers building this and that and the other. But then he's quick to turn around and walk away and be like, I need a break from this, guys. The guy made so much money. Cardano's founder just told the holders he won't pump their bags. If you want someone to make ADA go back to all-time highs, I'm not your person. And then he announced he's leaving X for the summer. So he's going on summer holidays. He used to post pictures of like steaks and riding horses, and then apparently he built a health clinic. Believe it or not, this guy is actually like 34 years old. I'm sure you guys all know that who are watching on X, if you are watching on X. But like, yeah, I can't believe he's younger than me. It's insane. I'm that bad, man. But yeah, apparently he was also, there's like some articles have come out where he was making deals in the background and selling like ADA tokens to, you know, fund his lifestyle and to, you know, make himself super rich. So he basically screwed over the whole community. You can't talk bad about Cardano in any sense because the community will come after you. But I've got a feeling those same people, if they're not bots, are going to turn around and really go after this guy. I think in the next, like, you know, 5 to 10 years, you're going to hear court cases being made and all sorts of things are going to be happening when it comes to him. But he's got enough money to fight off everyone, so he's good. Yeah, every chain will build their own zero. Yeah. Can't. But yeah, I'm not saying that I'm streaming for the sake of streaming, but I am. I think I've done like 50 minutes. I think that's enough. I'm thinking of doing like maybe short form content. So, you know, like if breaking news happens or something, then maybe I'll just pop up and just do a quick live and just do 20 minutes here and there. I think that might be the way to go. I don't think people enjoy longer form content. Maybe in the future it will go back to that, because the brain rot of short form content, I think, is going to die any moment now. People are going to get tired of watching the same crap, you know, same generic, boring, fake stuff. Strategy CEO says 500 billion in capital rotate from SpaceX and other AI trades to cheap crypto after the space. See, like, that's a lie, isn't it? When's that from? Is that from today? The Bitcoin historian. The good news is, well, no, if he's right, or not very shortly. That's what I'm saying. It's like, could it be that the SpaceX IPO could be the top of, you know, traditional markets, and it needs to base out, maybe consolidate, go sideways and down, and, you know, people with like who've made a lot of money, they want to make the next move for more capital, and they decide, let me rotate into crypto because everything is so cheap and down bad. It's instant returns. I mean, like, all of these things are all-time lows. All-time lows, not like, you know, not the majors. Like Bitcoin's still standing strong at 62 thanks to the power of Michael Saylor. And ETH is at 1600, as you saw. Like, Tom Lee just bought however much he just bought OTC, didn't buy on the open market. But yeah, there are a lot of things out here. Like, even if you bought like some established meme coins or Hyperliquid, for instance, you know, it could be that it's just liquidating all the leverage. I think all the leverage is out of the system when it comes to Hyperliquid, the token. And yeah, perhaps, you know, they'll run it back, and all those people who got liquidated are just going to wake up tomorrow extremely pissed off because they got stopped out and then the market ran, which is why you buy options. Solana, it looks dead, but, you know, it's still got like a cohort of good people that around it that, you know, will work for the bag. But what has Solana done recently that's so great? And, you know, a lot of their protocols are constantly, well, not constantly, but a lot of their protocols have been, you know, hacked. Like, you know, the things have happened where, you know, like Drift Protocol, their #1 DeFi platform, for whatever reason, has been hacked, you know. And then you've got Radium, which I believe is another exchange, or liquidity provision exchange sort of deal. They just got hacked today, so their smart contracts are clearly vulnerable. Yeah, so it's one of those ones where I feel like Solana's going to be the ETH of this cycle. ETH might be able to just like institutionalize and go like mainstream, but it's going to take a lot of doing. They've got the tools to do it, but yeah, it's low enough for it to bounce. Let's just put it that way. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, you could see some big moves tomorrow. It'd be interesting to see. I might even go to bed now. I'm kind of looking forward to waking up tomorrow and seeing where the market's at. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing all right. Apologies if it's not very entertaining. I think this is the sort of mode it's going to be from here on out, where I just sort of like, yeah, a bit more chilled, a bit more laid back in it. Yeah, but shout out X, shout out anyone who's watched up to now. It's unlikely. Yeah, I'm not shilling anything, but yeah, I think Hyperliquid's the only one that I'm really interested in. I see, like, you know, potential, but at the same time, this price action is very off-putting. Very off-putting. Okay. GG's everybody. I hope you're doing well, and maybe I'll